Hi guys, today we're going to be doing an example of rationalizing the denominator, which is a way that we simplify rational expression containing square roots or cube roots. So here's our example. We want to simplify 3 plus 2 square root of 3 over 2 minus 3 square root of 3. We consider this denominator to be irrational because the square root of 3 is an irrational number. So we want to rationalize the denominator, which just involves removing the square roots and expressing this expression as a fraction with a whole number as a denominator. So that's when a rational expression with radicals here is considered simplified. So our first step and our main step is to multiply the top and bottom by the conjugate of the denominator. So the conjugate is just the same number here except with the middle sign switch. So since our denominator is 2 minus 3 square root of 3, our conjugate is 2 plus 3 square root of 3. So that's what we need to multiply top and bottom by. Remember, we have to multiply both top and bottom because this is just multiplying by 1, and multiplying by 1 does not change our original value. So that's the main step in these problems, is to find the conjugate of the denominator, multiply top and bottom by that conjugate. So we have to put everything in parentheses because these are actual numbers that we want to multiply, not just part of the numbers we want to multiply. So we're going to have to FOIL everything out, and then we'll have several like terms that we can combine. So numerator, we got 3 times 2, which is 6. Outer, 3 times 3 root 3, we just multiply the whole numbers together, we get 9 root 3. Inner is 2 root 3 times 2, 2 times 2 is 4, square root of 3, and the last term is 2 times 3, which is 6, and square root of 3 times square root of 3, which is the square root of 3 squared. I'm going to go ahead and leave it like that for now, just to make sure that we don't lose a term in there. If you try to skip steps in the middle of a kind of complicated computation, you might miss terms. Denominator 2 times 2 is 4. Outer is 6 square root of 3. Inner is 6 square root of 3, which is not surprising. When we multiply top and bottom by the conjugate of the denominator, we should always get the outer and the inner terms to cancel, which is the root 3 terms. And the last is going to give us minus 3 times 3 is minus 9. Square root of 3 times square root of 3 is square root of 3 squared. And we know that the square root of 3 squared is just 3. So we can simplify that and combine our other like terms. 6 plus 9 root 3 plus 4 root 3 is 13 root 3, and 6 times square root of 3 squared just turns into 6 square root of 3, or 6 times 3, and the denominator is 4. These two cancel, minus 9 times 3. A couple more simplifications and we're done. Turning these into whole numbers, 6 times 3 is 18, 9 times 3 is 27. When we combine our two numbers that are like terms, we get this situation, and we normally don't express our answer with a negative sign inside of the denominator. So you have two choices when that happens. You can just move it out to the front and it should be fine, or if you want to, you can distribute the negative sign through the numerator, which just changes the sign of each of the terms in the numerator. So either of these should be reasonable answers. Notice that the denominator is now a whole number 23, so it is considered rationalized. That's all for today.